My name is Harry Kamboni, Member of Parliament for Karomo Central. You are welcome. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, once again. Chairperson, welcome on the team. My name is Mishek Nyambose, Chasefu Member of Parliament. Thank you.
Good morning, Local Government Commission and Chair, Reverend Given Katruta Mwelwa, and I represent the good people of Chiengi in Luapula Province on the board of DRC in Zambia. I'm the Vice Chair for this committee.
Thank you. Permanent witnesses?
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Tishimba Mwewa from the Office of the Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon. My name is Simon Munyama from the Office of the Auditor General.
Good afternoon, the Chairperson and your team. My name is Martha Ndlof from the Office of the Controller of Internal Audit.
Thank you, Chair. Welcome, Chairperson and the Commission. I'm Kennedy Kazinga, Permanent Witness from the Ministry of Local Government. Thank you.
Afternoon. My name is Moses Chuba from the Office of the Clerk. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will now invite you, Chairperson, Local Government Service Commission, to introduce yourself and allow your colleagues to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Sejan Axon, Chairman for the Commission. I have with me 2 commissioners and 3 members of the Secretary. They will introduce themselves. Starting from...
Okay, no, you will.
Good afternoon, Chair. I'm Maggie Kapihia, a member of the Local Government Service Commission.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. I'm Justina Piri, a member of the Local Government Service Commission.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Chair and esteemed members of this committee. My name is Moses Mbumba. I'm the Commission Secretary.
Thank you. Members from behind there, you can walk up to the mic and introduce yourself. And mic.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Amusa Zaza. I'm the Deputy Commission Secretary in charge of Human Resource Management Services at the Local Government Service Commission. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair and honorable members. I am Chiwendova, Deputy Commission Secretary, Administration from the Local Government Service Commission.
Thank you very much. Chairperson, Commission Chairperson, my name is Mulunda Darius. I'm the Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency, and I'm the Chairperson for your committee, the committee appearing before the Committee on Local Government Accounts. We want to apologize that we have kept you for more than an hour. That wasn't intentional, but as your children, that actually entails you that your children have issues, and in trying to address those issues, we take a little bit longer. Chairperson, under Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia, members of Parliament enjoy the immunity in the House that whatever they say can never be used against them elsewhere. And equally, when you appear before any parliamentary committee, the same is extended to you as witnesses. You are not appearing as accused, but you are appearing as witnesses. The witnesses that are going to give us information that will help us generate a very good report to the main parliament. And you can only be cited if you give us false information or you give us the information that is not true. That's when the Cap 12 can be applied against you. But I have no doubt in my mind that today you are going, like you have done always, you are going to give us the factual information, the information that will help us generate a very good report, the report that will then submit to the main house, to Honorable Madam Speaker. With that said, Chairperson, I will now invite you to speak to your document by submitting to this committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for that welcome. The Commission is delighted to appear before you, sir, and the members of your committee.
Sorry, maybe just pull the mic, Chairperson, closer to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. I was saying that the Commission is very pleased to appear before you, sir. to make a submission on the issues that we are requested to make a submission on. It's our understanding that the members of the committee are fairly well acquainted with the mandate of the commission. We should allow us to go straight into the matters that before us, if that is allowed.
Please proceed in that fashion,
Thank you,
Chairperson.
Chairman. Thank you very much indeed. We're looking at the audit findings. As a key stakeholder in local government administration, we were requested to make comments on matters raised in the report relating to the following issues. One, overemployment of staff in Choma Municipal Council, Itezitezi Town Council, Kafue Town Council, Kalushi Municipal Council, Kapimposhi Town Council, Kitwe Town Council, and Rwansha Municipal Council, among others. Secondly, we are supposed to look at employees without requisite qualifications in Chama Town Council, Chipiri Town Council, Kalushi Municipal Council, Kitwe Municipal Council, Livingston City Council, Rwansha Municipal Council, Nalolo Council, and Dollar City Council, among others. And three, we're supposed to look at other audit matters raised in the executive summary of the audit report that pertain to our commission. Mr. Chairman, the following are our responses to these issues. First of all, our response to issues of overemployment. Mr. Chairman, the Commission agrees with the findings of the Auditor General that there was overemployment of staff in Choma Municipal Council, Itezitezi Council, Kafue Town Council, Kalushi Town Council, Kapiriposhi Town Council, Kitwe City Council, and Rwansha, among others, during the period under review. Sir, prior to the reestablishment of the Local Government Service Commission in 2010, each local authority was autonomous and therefore employed its own staff. While generic staff establishments were in place, the actual staff registers were determined by individual local authorities depending on the council's capacity to pay and the scope of responsibilities. In 2012, harmonized structures were developed, which structures unfortunately only addressed positions in the city, municipal, and town councils, and not the actual numbers of officers for each position. This situation left room for abuse at both ends because while the Commission was responsible for the appointment of staff in Division 1 to 3, individual local authorities were still responsible for the recruitment of Division 4 workers, who actually formed the larger part of the council's workforce. Mr. Chairman, in order to address the issue of overemployment in the local authorities, the Local Government Service Commission has been redistributing officers from councils with surplus staff to those councils with staff deficits. Further, in order to ensure that staff establishments in the local authorities are responsive to the needs of the communities being serviced, the Commission, in conjunction with the Management Development Division and the Decentralization Secretariat, are developing new structures for all local authorities, that is to say city, municipal, and township councils. The Commission has since embarked on the development of a robust monitoring and evaluation tool which will be used to assess the local authorities' adherence to set standards in recruitment of employees in terms of numbers, qualifications, and competencies. Further, in conjunction with the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, a comprehensive local government management information system has been developed on which platform human resource related matters are being updated in real time. This would further enhance the Commission's ability to make timely and informed decisions on staff matters. The second item on which we need to respond to, Mr. Chairman, is on matters pertaining to employees without requisite qualifications. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, the Commission agrees with the findings of the Auditor General that there were employees without requisite qualifications in Chama Town Council, Chipiri Town Council, Karushi Municipal Council, Kitwe City Council, Livingston City Council, Rwansha Municipal Council, Naroro Town Council, and Ndola Council, among others. Mr. Chairman, sir, the committee may wish to note that the challenge of lack of qualifications for staff in the local authorities has had a historical dimension. This situation dates back to the time when the councils were autonomous, and therefore each council employed and managed its own staff. Local authorities then were generally not attractive to graduates due to poor conditions of service and the non-payment of salaries. Mr. Chairman, so this scenario resulted in people who did not have requisite qualifications to be employed and therefore held key positions as they rose through the rank and file. In this regard, when the Local Government Service Commission was re-established in 2010, it inherited the challenge of staff without requisite qualifications for the positions they held. The ideal situation was to reorganize and restructure the councils, which action would have resulted in the retrenchment of employees without requisite qualifications. This, however, was not feasible because councils did not have the finances to pay retirement benefits and the possible litigation costs that would have ensued therefrom. In order to deal with the problem, the Commission has designated such staff to lower positions in some instances, but have maintained their personnel to hold the salary scales in order to avoid litigations. However, when these employees separate from the local government service through retirement, resignation, termination, or death, they are then replaced by qualified officers. For those who are still young and trainable, they have been directed to upgrade their qualifications within a specified period of time, as failure to do so will leave the Commission with no other option than to separate them from local government service. Mr. Chairman, let me hasten to state that since the current Commission was appointed, vacancies in the Local Government Service Commission are transparently filled up based on merit, as evidenced by the mass recruitment of 927 employees last year, 2022. We pledge to continue on this positive trajectory. The third issue that we want to respond to, Mr. Chairman, is the failure to fill vacant positions. Sir, the Commission has taken note of the observations made by the Auditor General in the executive summary of the report under consideration the failure by some local authorities to fill vacant positions. Mr. Chairman, the committee may wish to note that filling of the positions in the local authorities is linked to the capacity to pay salaries. Most of the councils, especially newly created ones, are heavily dependent on the local government equalization fund, which unfortunately cannot meet the cost of the wage bill if such councils were to operate at full capacity of the establishment. The vacant positions are thus filled as and when a local authority requests and demonstrates capacity to pay salaries and other personal emoluments. Notwithstanding the foregoing, the Commission ensures that all critical positions required for a council to operate optimally are filled. These include, but not limited to, the following: the town clerks or council secretaries, the directors, procurement officers, internal auditors, to name but a few. The fourth and last item that we want to respond to, Mr. Chairman, is the failure to confirm officers on probation. Mr. Chairman and members of the Commission has taken note of the observations made by the Auditor General in the executive summary of the report under consideration the failure to confirm officers on probation. Sir, the Employment Code Act number 3 of 2019, Section 27, subsection 1 and 2, and the terms and conditions of service for the Local Government Service Commission, June 2021, provide that the confirmation and admission to the permanent and pensionable establishment of an officer who has satisfactorily completed the probationary period of 3 months be had. Sir, the Local Government Service Commission has been implementing this provision, and in cases where extensions are required as a result of an unsatisfactory performance, affected officers are informed accordingly. However, in 2021, some confirmations were delayed due to the heightened prevalence of the COVID-19 pandemic, which claimed the lives of over 50 council employees. Sir, during this period, Commission sittings as well as travels to provinces and the districts for technical support were restricted. This resulted in the accumulation of cases for unconfirmed officers. Further, following the change of government in August 2021, the previous commission was dissolved around October 2021, while new office bearers were appointed between December 2021 and February 2022. Sir, during this transition period, there were no full commission sittings to transact any business. However, after the formation of the new commission, a number of sittings have been held to deal with staff matters, including staff confirmations. In this regard, during the commission sittings held in March 2023 alone, over 486 officers were confirmed and admitted to the permanent and pensionable establishment. The list of staff confirmed at March 2023 full confirmation sittings held at Legacy Hotel is attached to this report, Chairman. In conclusion, sir, the Local Government Service Commission is alive to the challenges faced by the local authorities regarding overemployment, officers without requisite qualifications, failure to fill some positions, and delays in confirming officers to the permanent and pensionable establishment. In this regard, I wish to assure the Committee on Local Government Accounts that the Local Government Service Commission is working hard to ensure that the problems highlighted above are squarely dealt with. It is against this background that the Commission has engaged the Management Development Division and the Decentralization Secretariat at Cabinet Office to ensure that the new structures for city, municipal, and town councils are developed considering individual councils' unique features. This will no doubt assist in absorbing overemployment and clear some matters of staff without requisite qualifications. As I conclude, Mr. Chairman, I wish to thank the Clerk of the National Assembly through the Committee on Local Government Accounts for according the Local Government Service Commission an opportunity to make a submission on the report of the Auditor Generals on the audit of accounts of the local authorities for the financial year ended 31st December 2021. I thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I will now invite honorable members for points of clarifications, questions. Honorable members, Honorable Sumumba.
Thank you very much, Chair, and I would want to thank the Commission for that submission. Chair, I would want to find out from the Commission. With me here, I've got a report from Luansha Municipal Council, which they were queried of employment of staff. Chair, according to the submission that was made to this honorable committee by the council, they said the council wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wish to state that the overemployment of officers under Division 1 up to 3 is the preserve of the local government commission. And the local authority just receives staff that are deployed by the commission. Chair, the council, we are telling this committee to say, when we are talking about overemployment, for us as a council, we don't know anything. It's about your commission. You are the one who just sends those officers to the council. Kindly, can you confirm that if it's true? I submit, Chair.
Thank you. Before you respond, Chairperson, another question? Yes, please, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you so much, Chair, for Local Government Service Commission. We had one of your councils here, just forgotten, but from Eastern Province, where we saw that there was an audit query of them having temporal members of staff, which are meant, and those positions are meant for permanent. And the response was that it was due to the local government service commission taking, it's been taking long in doing the staff deployment or recruiting. So I just want to find out how are you going to handle this, because it seems to be a problem in most of the councils now that you're a new commission. How are you going to handle this? Most of the councils, they have vacancies which they cannot fill up until it's done by the local government service commission. And why is it taking long? I thank you, Chair.
You can respond to those two.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One of the councils said that the issue of overemployment cannot be blamed on the councils but the commission. Is that the question, sir? Thank you. When I was reading the submission, the chairman, I indicated that this situation of employment was being abused on both sides of the coin.
Honorable Kapampi, something.
The exact sentence I read was, this situation left room for abuse at both ends, because while the commission was responsible for the appointment of staff in Division 1, 2, and 3, individual local authorities were still responsible for the recruitment of Division 4 workers. And in fact, Mr. Chairman, when you look at these matters closely, the bulk of this overemployment is on Division 4 officers, the so-called general workers, who are engaged by the respective councils. Yes, indeed, there was also a problem from the commission side of the coin, but the bulk of this overemployment is got to do with what the local authorities did in engaging the general workers. The second question was on temporary members. I don't know whether these temporary members are the members we're talking about who are on probation. If these are the officers who are on probation, this is exactly the exercise that we have embarked on to clear a backlog. We found a huge backlog of staff who have been on probation for so long. We had to go in retreat in the month of March to ensure that we tackle the backlog. And the result is this list, Mr. Chairman, where we've cleared the backlog. 486 members of staff who were on probation have now been confirmed and admitted to the permanent and pensionable establishment. So it is a matter that we are seized with and we continue to be seized with, so that we are very current with our activities.
Just an addition, Chairperson, on the same, the 486 that you have cleared and you have confirmed, can you confirm that these particular officers have now received their letters, they have been communicated to?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I can confirm that the letters are being received. If they have not received them yet, they must be on their way.
On their way. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Nyambose.
Thank you, Chair. And I want to equally thank the Commission Chairperson and the team. Chairperson, on the overemployment of staff in most of these, I want to agree that yes, the overemployment is in the level of Division 4. But what has actually been reaching this committee, what we have been dealing with, what is real if we check all the reports, are officers in Division 3 and 2, no Division 4. And you find that administrative officer, instead of a council having 2 administrative officers, I'm just giving an example, they will have 7. If it is the planners or health inspectors, they will have more. And this is what we have been experiencing, Chairperson. And we have not really seen. As for Division 4, what is the case is officers in Division 4 not being confirmed, whilst they have been taken as casuals for a longer period of time. But in terms of overemployment, it is these categories in Division 3 and 2 and 1, very few of them. So our appeal or our question, Chairperson, what are you doing to deal with this matter where we have this overemployment? As I congratulate you, Chair, and the Commission, within a short period, they have dealt with these confirmations. On the confirmation, Chair, is now I've heard you and I've been following you that some of the functions have been devolved to districts. What is the Commission doing? What plans have you or strategies have you put in place so that we do not have the situation where workers are not confirmed even when you have devolved some of the functions? How are you going to monitor that these officers who are due for confirmation within the period, stipulated period, get confirmed or promoted? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have admitted the existence of a problem of overemployment. And we have also said that this is on both sides of the coin, the Commission and the local authorities. Having admitted that, Mr. Chairman, we have also said we are doing something about it. We are moving staff from areas of high concentration in terms of the position that they occupied to areas of low concentration in terms of occupants, especially those councils that are new. We are trying to move where there is overemployment to those new councils so that we can rationalize the situation as a measure going forward. So indeed, Honorable, the problem exists, but we are trying to do something about it so that in no time we should be current and we should be up to date with the situations that are obtaining on the ground. It's a matter that we are continuously and currently seized with in terms of addressing. What measures are we ensuring that the devolved functions or the delegated functions to the local authorities, what steps are we taking to ensure that those that are going to be appointed by the human resource committees that we've established are not delayed in terms of appointments, I mean, the confirmations and everything else. Sir, the establishment of human resource committees, which, by the way, we have managed to establish in every local authority in this country, all the 116 have human resource management committees now, where we have seeded some of the functions from the Commission. So this seeding aspect has left the Commission with more time to supervise what is happening on the ground, to ensure that they are up to date. So we are seeding these functions, leaving ourselves with the time now for supervision, for monitoring, to ensure that the processes or human resource matters are attended to promptly. And that was one of the very essence of establishing these human resource management committees at local levels, so that matters of this nature are addressed promptly.
Thank you very much. Honorable Nyambose.
Chair, the other question is the transfers. I'm very much aware that you are a new team, but now you are the commission chairperson. Previously, we saw transfers, chairperson, of officers being transferred from Chasefu to Shangombo, which is very necessary and within the law. But you see officers in Division 3, clerical officers, being transferred from one council, from one province to another province very far. And these are people who are married, some of them married to civil servants, and they are being moved, and they are very junior. From an outsider to see that transfer being a punishment. Are we seeing the same taking place under your leadership, your able leadership? And how are you answering to our president's call to unite married or to unite couples so that we do not break these homes? Thank you.
Commission Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Transfers from one end of the country to the other, are they punitive? Let me state, Mr. Chairman, that under this commission, there will be no punitive transfers at all. If people are going to be transferred, it is because of the exigencies of the offices and the demands of the office. There are several reasons that can lead the commission to transfer an officer, but certainly not as a punitive measure. We don't believe that transfers are supposed to be punitive. Transfers are supposed to address real problems. For example, we are talking about transferring staff where they are over-concentrated to areas that are in need of staff, the newly created districts, for example. In such scenario, a transfer is going to occur. Yeah. We are talking about transfers on promotion. If somebody has been promoted and that particular position does not exist in their locality, it may make sense that they are moved. So we are not denying them an opportunity to progress in their careers. Transfers might be, as a result of a medical, requirement that somebody needs to be near, a medical facility. So there are more serious reasons why a transfer is going to be effected by the commission, but certainly not punitive, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Honorable.
Then, on issues of uniting the families, it's a matter that cannot be debated, Mr. Chairman. It's a directive. We just have to follow it. The only issue that I need to indicate is that even as we implement this policy, we may not be moving as quickly as it might be necessary because of some practical difficulties on the ground. Mm-hmm. If we are going to move, Officer X to some council, we must find Officer Y who is supposed to swap or move the other direction. Otherwise, we are going to create the same problem that we are complaining about here of having one position occupied by 2 or 3 people. So we must find a swapping mate from that council. And the assumption must be that the one who is moving out of that council is also not leaving their spouse there, because otherwise we're going to be creating, a problem while we are solving another. The other issue is the odd possibility, Mr. Chairman, that because these are council workers, the odd possibility that the council chairman, might be uniting with the council secretary might be uniting with his wife, who is a council deputy secretary. So you have a council that are run by families, or the council secretary is the husband and the wife is the director of finance. So these are practical difficulties that make it look as if we are slow, but we are implementing. I think over 100 families have so far been united since we started this exercise. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Katuta, then Honorable Sumumba.
Thank you, Chair. I've listened to the Chair for Local Government Commission, Service Commission, saying they will not be transferring anyone, which is a very good idea. So I want to find out from the Chair if it means that now we are going to have members of staff in the councils who will be there for permanently. I'm asking this because we have challenges in most of these councils. We've been seeing them coming before this committee, and also the public will agree with me, like what would say in Bemba, we say koswengaika lishamunganda alabana ina member muliamwine, a member of the family, meaning if there's a rat in the house and you don't deal with it, it will feel like it's part of the family. When you are eating, you have guests, it will just come in pass. Why am I saying this, Chair? I want to find out. We have issues in some of these councils where we've had members of staff who have overstayed in certain areas. As a result, they do things in the manner that they feel like. I'm not saying about firing them, but I'm asking if this, as we're talking, most of them, they still have families, maybe in Lusaka, then that person is in Chadiza. Now, if you have a certain group of members of staff who have been in positions, certain positions, you find that now we have CDF. They've created even companies, and for you to know and to put your finger to it that this company belongs to Given Katuta, it will be difficult to be like a mere accusation. But you know very well this company belongs to Given, is using Nyambose. Because now they've integrated with those people in those areas. That's what I'm trying to say. If you say you'll not be transferring them, don't you think this problem now, councils are going to have these problems? Because we have some members of staff, really, they are becoming a staff. They are members of staff, they're becoming a staff, S-T-U-F. So I would like to find out from you, what are you going to do on this issue? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Simum, it's another question. Okay, who asks the chairperson to respond to that? On the same, please go ahead.
Sorry, Chair, on the transfers, on the last one. We have chief officers. For instance, council secretaries, treasurers, or those in management category. What we have seen, Chairperson and Commission, is that this officer will be at one council for a period of 1 year. From there, this officer is transferred to another council. And when it comes to the audits or the I don't know what word I can use, the track record, at that particular council, there is mess that has been created. And the external auditor will come and check those problems at that council. By the time that particular council is appearing before this committee, that council secretary or town clerk is either one has been promoted or transferred to another council. So are we seeing this commission coming up with a standard of maybe a tenure of office for senior officers before they move to another council? Let's say, for instance, maybe one person after 2 years, that's one person can be moved to another council, so that they become responsible and accountable for their activities before being promoted or transferred or demoted in other place. Notwithstanding challenges of promotions and maybe dates, but do you think the commission should come up with a standard tenure of office so that people can account for themselves and become the basis for their assessment or promotion or demotion? Thank you, Chair.
Chair,
Honorable Mteo.
it's in the similar manner. Simply put, what do you do?
Please speak it out.
What do you do with officers found wanting in the auditor's report? What do you do?
Commission Chairperson.
Chair, there is also rigidity. What do you do if an officer is not wanting to work? What do you do? I've heard somewhere, on top here, things are working. On the middle, they are not working. Down there, they are not working. What do you do with such officers? Because local authority is the engine, chairperson, of any country. More so with the increased constituency development fund. Are we going to see this commission transferring one problem to another?
Chairperson.
You, Mr. Chairman. First question was, since you have stopped transfers, what happens to those officers who have become too familiar with their stations? Are we going to be lumbered with these people for ever and ever more? My answer is, first of all, we have not stopped transfers. What we have declared is that we will not transfer people on a punitive basis. But transfers will continue to be the order of the day for various reasons, including where we feel a person has overstayed to the point where I think they become less effective. Familiarity breeds contempt. Then, for the sake of progress, we can move such an officer. So transfers have not been stopped altogether. It's the punitive aspect which we are not entertaining. We have officers that come and stay for a few months, then they are transferred, leaving a mess behind. Is that the question, Honorable Nyambosi? They leave a mess behind. Are we coming up with a time limit, or a reasonable time within which a person is left at a station to work? I think that the Commission already has that time limit, except where we have some exigencies that are unforeseen. Under normal circumstances, officers are supposed to remain in a station 2, 3, 4 years maximum. They must be on the move. So yes, the term is already there. Honorable MP for Mitete. What are you going to do with the officers who are found wanting? Are you going to be transferring one problem from one area to the other? Certainly not. We are encouraging stakeholders. We are encouraging principal officers, if they are not the ones who are found wanting. We are encouraging them to do their job. Let's supervise our staff. Let's ensure that they do the job. Incompetence is a sanctionable offense. So we're not looking forward to transferring people. We are looking forward to ensuring that people are properly supervised to do their job. Those who fail must be sanctioned there and then, instead of transferring to other areas. So going forward, this commission is not going to entertain transferring a problem from one area to the other. We will insist that where a person has committed a wrong, they are charged and disciplined accordingly. The middle management, the responsibility of the principal officers is to ensure that the middle management as well shape up to the requirements of the current situation. We are looking forward, we are looking towards a set of administrators who are up to the task, given the changes that are now taking place of devolving to the local authorities. So even the people that are responsible down there must up their game to ensure that the middle management performs. Those who do not perform, let us see charge letters being written to jack them up. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Simumba and Kapampi, and then you come to Honorable.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I'll take you to page 4.
Page what?
Page 4. Employees without requisite qualification. Chair, these are staffs that are within the watch of the Commission. Chair, there are about 10 members of staff under Luansha Municipal Council that were employed by your Commission, and they didn't meet the minimum qualifications, which are contrary to the terms and conditions of service. Why did you go ahead as a Commission to employ these people which didn't have minimum qualifications? About 10 of them, when I look at the Assistant Community Development Officer, he or she had only the grade 9 certificate. Are you telling this committee that you didn't have a hand in these officers? I submit, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. It's still on the same issues with the requisite qualifications. I just want to find out from the Commission if at all going forward the Commission won't be employing people without the requisite qualification. I think once he answers that, then I'll come up with the follow-up question. Chair, I submit.
Thank you. You see, Chair, mine is on the current dispensation, Chairperson. Government has released a lot of money to these local authorities through CDF. Or in short, I can put it that the new dispensation is taking resources, a lot of resources, to these local authorities, be it Chasefu, Ngawe, all the councils, huge sums of money. And yet, Chairperson, some of these, mostly small councils, do not have fire establishments. These huge sources of these huge resources, meaning that development is being taken to Chasefu. A lot of development is taking place, and this means that calamities or disasters or issues to do with fires and any other accidents will be taking place. What is your commission doing, Chairperson, to ensure that you protect the resources that are taking there by establishing fire sections or departments in these authorities? The second one, Chair, and not second one, this one is these small councils previously or now, which are small districts, newly established, Chairperson. When you assign critical positions to take up development, these monies that the government has given, you are assigning junior officers as engineers from colleges who have no experience, and leaving those experienced engineers or technical people in the already established local authorities. Do you have a deliberate program to ensure that HSF Council has an experienced engineer, experienced planner, and all those highly technical, so that we can see development that is coordinated and that is well supervised, better to develop these rural and mostly newly created councils, unlike what we are seeing, giving us people who have just graduated from schools? Thank you, Chair.
So respond to those.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There was a question on qualifications in Rwansha. The honorable member found a list of officers who are not qualified. I'm not surprised. This is what we've just admitted here, that that problem does exist. And we also saw it for our own, when we audited the Lusaka City Council, that these councils are inhabited by people who are not qualified. And we've also talked about the legacy, this being a legacy problem. We also talked about what we are trying to do to resolve that particular situation. Where people are still young, we've given an opportunity to upgrade themselves. Those who fail to upgrade themselves, then appropriate action is going to be taken against them. But we've given them time to upgrade themselves. Those who are nearing retirement, as we have discovered, we said, well, let them retire. But once they've separated from us, then in terms of filling in vacancies, going forward, we are going to insist that you are not going to get employed if you don't have the requisite qualifications. You have to be qualified in order to be employed in the Local Government Service Commission. I hope that answers your question, Honorable, that if you are not qualified, you cannot be employed. Talking about mass resources that are going to the districts currently, I don't know whether I got to the last part of the question, Honorable Nyabosi, properly.
The first question.
Yes.
Most of these newly created district councils or small councils do not have fire service department.
Services, right.
Then the other one is unexperienced technical people are the ones who are being deployed in these newly created or these small councils, and the experienced ones are kept in the old one. are you helping these newly created like mine?
Chairperson?
The lack of fire services in some of our newly created districts, agreed. We have indicated elsewhere in our report that the Local Government Service Commission, in conjunction with the Management Development Division and the Decentralization Secretariat, are on an exercise now to restructure local authorities. We believe that at the end of that exercise, issues of this nature are going to be addressed, where certain departments that are now lacking in certain areas are going to be looked at with a view to ensuring that all local authorities are appropriately manned to ensure for efficiency. Employing or deploying junior engineers to newly created districts, is there a deliberate policy by the Commission to ensure that only those qualified, experienced engineers are taken to these new districts to give direction? I want to take this as an advice from the honorable member of the committee that that is what we shall be striving to do going forward.
Honorable Kapampi?
There's a question I asked the commission, which I said I was going to come up with a follow-up question once he answers me.
Please bring it up again.
Chair, through you, if the commission has alluded to that, they won't be employing people with without the necessary qualifications or the required qualifications. I feel so sad because I won't mention a certain council not long ago, someone without the required qualifications was actually sent there as an health inspector. So meaning that is not only the case there, maybe there might be even more other people who have been deployed without the necessary qualifications. It's just that I can't mention the person's name and where that particular person was sent to. So going forward, what is the commission doing to make sure that such things are not happening within the commission? I submit.
Honorable, are you insinuating that actually that particular person was employed by this commission?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Nyambose?
Last one, Chair, is some time ago, when one is employed, they used to be taken to what they called Local Government Training Institute. The reason, Chairperson, was simple, is that local government is quite unique in a way. If you're an accountant, if you are an engineer, if you're an administrator, you are taken to learn about local government administration or local government accounting, which is quite unique. And that institution is still existing under your jurisdiction, Chair. Do you have a deliberate program, Chairperson, and the Commission, before one officer is deployed, these internal auditors who we are seeing that they're not doing very well, and other departments, they are taken to be oriented or inducted into local government administration for a short period, 6 months or 3 months, before actually taking up position for them to fully understand the local government industry and local government governance? Are you having that program with the Charimbana Local Government Training Institute before deploying these officers that they're taken to be inducted or taken through to understand the environments, how to deal with chiefs, how to deal with this and that, or the local government accounting? I submit, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Chairperson, you can respond to these two questions, but in your response, please shed more light on the employee that was employed by you, by your commission, that did not have the requisite qualifications, because the nation is watching and we are accountable to everyone. So maybe you can make a comment as well on the same. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A specific case of an employee who is not qualified being employed, we would be very happy to have more information on that particular officer.
Thank you.
Because the position is very clear. So it's possible that somebody can sneak in and blindfold us and get these positions.
Thank you very much.
We have dealt with issues where people have come with the degrees from universities that don't exist. You know, University of Kanyama, Technical College.
Yes.
So, yes, it's possible to. But once that is brought to our attention, immediate corrective measures will have to be put in place. So we'll ask for more information on that.
More information. Thank you.
Training for newly recruited officers. For us, Mr. Chairman, this is an absolute must. We may not train them before they're engaged, but we certainly will train them once they are engaged. Our approach now is to take them to training institutions to orient them. There's a lot of changes that are coming our way now because of this push for devolution. So clearly, many of our staff in the Local Government Service Commission will need to be reoriented. Short courses, impactful courses. That is going to be the order of the day to ensure that they're up to speed with the modern requirements in their operations. I thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Chair. Just an addition on the training aspect. I know it's not arising from here, but it's under your mandate that the government has raised a lot of money, still raising a lot of money. But 3/4 of the local authorities that appeared before your committee, Chairperson, the gallery irregularities that are rising from the accounting department, precisely the internal auditors. Are you considering doing what my honorable member for Chasef has asked, an orientation, capacity building, because these monies now are prone to abuses, because at times interacting with them we felt some officers didn't have the capacity to handle that.
Of course, Chair, you've just mentioned the right word. What is coming out is that they have no capacity. And even as there's the devolution now in process, how are we going to be handling the devolution vis-a-vis the capacity of our staff?
Chairperson, as we conclude, please, maybe you can get another question. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you. Though different, I've strained my eyes to this further. Lukulu is not there. And I'm fully aware that there are those who would have applied, who would have been acting for so many years, since 2021. Listed to say that even Mitete is equally not there. What could have not happened, since you said it's a coin, that Lukulu and Mitete have gone through 5, 6 times. These two are not there. In terms of those to be approved, this list here. Yes. You mean there are no people in Lukulu who need to be confirmed? Listed to say Mitete.
Thank you. Just on the confirmations, I think I have about 6 councils that called me, and I was also checking. I've seen Pemba is not there. I know Choma is one of those that called. Mongo is one of them. Senanga is one of those. They sent the recommendations, and they have missed on the document. We know we're working on them, but we want to bring to your attention that is some of those councils, they complained to us and they sent even the recommendations that were coming from the specific local authorities. So we are working on them with a bulk, but we want you to take note that there are others that are missing. Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. There was a question as to whether the auditors or the accounting staff are also being considered in this training. All categories of employees, Mr. Chairman, will receive appropriate orientation to ensure that they are up to speed with the demands of their offices. So no one is going to be left outside, including revenue collectors who seem, not to be aware of what they're supposed to be doing. So they will need this orientation to ensure that they do their job. It is the most important activity going forward that we are going to undertake because of these changes that are taking place.
Yes.
People will need to be reoriented and given direction.
Thank you.
Rukuru is missing from the list of those that have been confirmed. It is possible, sir. We are still on it. There are a number of names of people that were sent back because some documents were missing from the list of, of what we were demanding. So once everything else comes, I'm sure that you might see, places like Rukuru appearing there. So we are still on this exercise. Thank you.
Honorable, the last one, I believe.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, you're welcome. We appreciate the efforts. But I've got this question that I ask also certain other stakeholders like the ministries and other. How do you work with the honorable members of parliament in these areas? Because I can tell you, if there are people who go through the fires from the community, are members of parliament, over the councils, over the council workers, members of parliament go through serious challenges. And it is even easier for you to identify hearing officers through the members of parliament because they know they interact with them, they are working with them all the time. Do you have any deliberate program to work with members of parliament? Because this, I can assure you, will make the council start performing.
Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think that it goes without saying, Chairman, that the members of parliament are critical stakeholders in our local authorities. And therefore, the commission has no choice but to work with members of parliament. And to that effect, Mr. Chairman, we maintain an open door policy. We have interacted with the members of parliament. We continue to interact with the members of parliament. We've gotten some very useful inputs from certain members of parliament regarding the situations in their localities. So let me state again here that we run that open policy and members of parliament are free to interact with the commission. Members of parliament should feel free to volunteer any information that they might think it would be helpful to the commission. We are there at your service, sir.
Thank you very much, Commission. Chairperson, I think we have exhausted what you have presented today. But like you have said, you have heard the concerns of the members, and we rely on you because the local authorities are the engineers, the engines of development, and everything else is accounted from there. As we strive to make Zambia a better place, we want to continue encouraging you that as you have started cleaning the system in terms of people with the right qualifications to hold those offices, because development will not come through if we don't have the right personnel. And it's our belief and trust that you are going to do the best you can, and that councils will begin to run again. With that said, I want to thank you for making appearance, for your submission to this wonderful committee, your committee on local government accounts, and we pledge to continue working with you, even as you have invited all members to continue working with you. With that said, Commission Chairperson, I now wish to withdraw the immunity that was conferred on you at the beginning of our interaction and allow you to have a blessed day as you go back to your offices. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Julian Nyemba is Chifunabuli Member of Parliament in Luapula Province under the Patriotic Front. She sits on the Committee on Government Assurances and a Committee on Parastatal Bodies. Being an educationist, Ms. Nyemba is passionate about education and wants to see to it that the people of Chifunabuli get educated.
My names are Julian Nyemba, but I've got also a funny name, which is a nickname, Mfranki, which is known by all the people from Chifunabuli. But in the education sector, being a teacher by profession, I'm known as Mrs. Kapia. I was born in Chifunabuli district at the place called Mutapa in Chief Chitembo's area in the Mission Hospital on the 31st July 1962. Then I went to Luwe Primary School for the Catholics, where I did my grade 1 to grade 7. Then from there, I went to St. Mary's again, another Catholic school in Kawambwa, where I did my grade 1, my Form 1 that time to Form 3. Now, due to financial difficulties, I got a transfer. I came to Zambia Secondary School, which was closer to my home, where I did Form 4 and Form 5. From there, after a year or two, I went to Master Teachers Training College, where I trained as a primary school. Then I taught in various schools like Lukwesa Primary School in Luapula. Then I came to Bama Primary School when I got married to my late husband, Mr. Aloysius Kapia, who died in 1991 in a car accident. Then from there, I pursued a diploma in office management Then after that I went to Chalimbana University, where I did a degree in education leadership and management because I've got passion on education.
Ms. Nyemba recalls how difficult life was after losing a father at the age of 6.
Claudette, I struggled as a little girl because I lost my father when I was 6 years old. So I remained with my mother, who is my role model, very hardworking woman. We used to wake up very early in the morning, go to the fields around 04, because in our time the only thing our parents would tell us, there were only two in the vocabulary: hard work and time management. So we used to wake up around 04, go to the fields when I've not gone to school, especially on Saturday and during the holidays. So it was tough. I learned how to make fritters to support myself to go to school. Then I had also a bit of support from the Catholic sisters and the priests who helped me, especially in the primary and part of secondary school. But when I went to Master Teachers Training College, I used to make fritters and sell to raise money to take myself to the college. It was tough. It was not easy. At the moment we are 3. I have an elder sister, myself and my young brother. The two, my elder sister and my young brother, they are still in the village in Lubwe, at a place called Chibuye Kanika, where we have got a small holding where we are doing a bit of farming.
She has 2 children and takes care of other members of her family.
Claudette, after my husband died in a road accident, I was in my late 20s. You know, traditionally that time, property grabbing, this and that. By that time I was in 8 months expecting my second child. So I've only 2 children, a girl and a boy. But because of my other relatives died, so I had to take care of the siblings. So the number sometimes grew up to 12. So as at now, I'm also considering them to be my children. But biologically, I've got 2. Then I've got 3 grandchildren. Okay. But from also those other children from my sisters and my relatives who died, they're about 12, 13, which I'm still taking care of.
Ms. Nyemba describes her adoption to stand as Member of Parliament for Chifunabuli as smooth sailing because she was already working on various projects in Chifunabuli constituency.
Claudette, it was easy because I did not only look at becoming an MP. My passion was to help my people in my constituency. So I started working in the constituency a long time ago. You know, sometimes in 2016, I had even to run away. They wanted me to stand. I said, no, I'm not ready. Until one chief approached me to say, come, we need you to come and give us this service. So first of all, I did not look at it politically, but I looked at it to help my people, to help the community. So since I had started working with women, I've already formed over 250 clubs where I go around empowering these women. Sometimes we grow beans, groundnuts, sweet potatoes, you know, keeping of goats, pigs. So I started a long time ago. Then I was also working on these schools. Wherever the school has collapsed, I would go. You know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'm just there before I even became an MP. Claudette, I saw the gap because from 1964 up to today, Chifunabuli has been having male MPs. I thought of going into that vacuum so that also women can have a representative, women can also have a voice, which I have seen today, Claudette. When I'm in the constituency, women are free to come to me and talk about their personal problems. And I'm working hand in hand with the women. You know, in Chifunabuli, most of the households are run by females. Usually male, they run away. So these women have remained taking care of their children. So I'm going around the constituents, encouraging them to be entrepreneur, encouraging them to be hardworking. We are coming up with certain activities like keeping animals, chickens, growing. I usually go with seedlings to empower them so that at least they can have food on household levels. So most of the time I'm in the constituents, encouraging women, you know, sometimes they've got problems with, especially they start giving birth when they are young.
She says she has settled very well in the house as a new entrant and does not feel intimidated being a female member of parliament.
In the chamber, first of all, if you have looked at me, Claudette, I'm quiet. I've been observing from the other side and the other side. But as at now, I'm coming up. Yes, you have noticed, yes. I'm settling in now. The only thing that I have observed is I don't have boundaries. I make friends easily. So for me to be on the other side of the other party, to be on the other side of where I belong, to PF, I don't have a problem because I mix freely. I'm not a person who can be intimidated because I'm not easily pushed. When you push me, Claudette, I'll ask you, why are you pushing me?
Ms. Nyemba says her family has been a source of strength in her line of work.
I get a very overwhelming response, especially from my family. You know, we are doing a private business, and my daughter is an entrepreneur, and equally I'm also an entrepreneur. So you find most of the time we are talking about how to uplift the living standard of our people in Chifunabuli. So when my daughter is an entrepreneur, would grow vegetables, you know, rearing of chickens, those layers for eggs, after selling the tomatoes and after selling the fish, after selling the vegetables, because we don't buy these things, we grow them at our backyard, and we grow them at a small holding that we have within Chisamba. So after selling, my daughter, my family, even from that small business, I'm passionate about education. So you find that I'm building schools using my own money. Sometimes I even use the vehicle, the truck for that business that we are doing to go and give the service to my people. So I'm getting an overwhelming response, and from the chiefs underground, because we are working together.
She is passionate about farming and teaching, as she now narrates.
When we were growing up, I never saw my mother having time, leisure time to relax. I would see my mother coming from the field. She would be there doing one or two things. In my leisure time, Claudette, I go farming, growing vegetables. Either I'm picking eggs, either I'm checking for the chickens, either I'm checking how is the fish doing in the pond. And then either I am there to help a slow learner, because I always get interested to help a slow learner. Today, this attire you are seeing, Claudette, it came from one of my learners, Gwendoline. She was slightly slow, but because of the patience that I had, today she's doing fine in life. So most of the time, I would meet these slow learners. You know, even if when I find them playing football, I'll stop. Then from there, we'll start now. 14 minus 5. Can you count using your toys and your, from there? Who can spell for me the word? You know, most of the time I'm either with books, with children, or I'm doing something. So you cannot find me sleeping. 04 Claudette, from the Catholics, from my mother. By the time it is 6:10 or 6 hours or 5:50, I'm at my business place.
Ms. Nyemba has a word of advice to women who want to join politics.
I would love to encourage that woman who wants to be an MP. You know, life is the way you take it. Nobody shouldn't come and intimidate you. You can be what you want in this life as long as you are focused. So the way they say politics is a dirty game. No, politics are not dirty games. It's the way you take it, the way you interact, the way you do things. That is the one which makes it to be dirty. So I'm encouraging that woman who wants to become an MP to say, come and learn another experience in life, which I've learned today. To say not everything is so bad about politics. So let them come and be exposed, let them come and learn one or two things, how this country is being run economically and politically. So Let them not be scared. There are no lions here. There are no lions in the political. No, we are all equal, men and women. We all have got 5 senses. We all have got, you know what it takes to be there. So let them not be discouraged to say no. Let them not be intimidated. Nobody can intimidate them as long as they stand up and voice out and then give the service to their fellow women.
Ms. Julian Nyemba believes women have the ability to be leaders and they should therefore stand out and be the voice for the voiceless.
If you want to find class in Nairobi, look no further.
Total luxury. Cheers to that, please. We run this city, period. You're more Kenyan than all other Kenyans. Najari Musana.
Who said I'm bringing drama? I brought the shade.
You brought it.
I'm here and I'm very comfortable. I am not leaving. It's not your party.
Kalandanya music promotion.
Russ! Duck!
When I sing a thunder,
you don't know.
it might look like magic and she told it them on naturally. You know what you love, baby, unikonda mweni lili.
Nalikutema ififine efo waba uwila sakamana mwanji kulyaba balilandalanda abababa nechikwela chilaba kalipe chitemweko umpela tangu nipa bantu pe tulayityomona yetimpepe filamba wankumuna umutima wanzi wankubula babula iwe shisi bengefonali lezampala mikila mpela nolubuto lavu yesyalibaya mu neutral my sunshine my candlelight, what was sunny kana moon.
It might look like magic, and she told it them on naturally. You know what you love, baby, unikonda mweni lili. Mama yesa kukamba for papa never ndako. But if you don't mind, baby, you and I in any so tabe, so tabe, it's any so tabe, so tabe. Unikonda so
Inzasa nolubuto shantini webo Inosa kamana mwanti kuliabo Chilaba kalipa kanofyanga ebo Bala kusekata wakwata na choice Wengana kamwaiche kada kamu poisi Akasiko akenjane nkonto Utuna tobo tuafula ne miponto Ishi mwate mwena nokulande fya musalula Ukunte kapokulande fyalula Nubali antikuli nebo diali balula Don't show me nobody patile chilumba Chilaba kalipa patu wala kukwa
and she told it them on naturally. You know what you love, baby, unikonda mweni lili. Mama yesa kukamba for papa never ndako. But if you don't mind, baby, you and I in any so tabe, so tabe, it's any so tabe, so tabe, unikonda so tabe.
Malavu na masati malomance na makissing Ndiye vintu baby girl I was wishing Come near baby boo Sininga name I love you too Pala mina pay Sanku tomone Itaipita te paka fenku somone Pala mina pay Sanku tomone Itaipita te paka fenku somone
It's like magic and she told it them on naturally. You know what you love, baby, unikonda mweni lili. Mama yesa kukamba for papa never ndako. But if you don't mind, baby, you and I in any so tabe, so tabe, it's any so tabe, so tabe, unikonda so tabe, so tabe, it's any so tabe. Sotabe, unikonda sotabe.
Criterion music.
Music.
Shile kankutoto shemami, shile kabile chitemwiko, ndefwa yako fika mfoti, pantu mutima walifwa kale, tetinkulebe. Naliese shepwe chitemwiko, lelo ndefwa yako fika mfoti, pantu mutima walifwa kale, sichaina mukwano, wade, sichaina mapenzi wade, wade. Sichaina mukwano wade, sichaina mapenzi wade, alachi wade. Inena sala foku kwebe fyofwilo kwishiro, pantu tetinkube pensha banga baya bambebo waishiro. Umfwa inonshitala budishi wifi, baya wati wasanga komubiri, aisa kontokela mumbi elo nishi wale mwana morubi. Apano mandete mwana mano, pantu mutima wandi unono, nalinaka nadieseshe, shile kankutoto shemami, shile kabile chitemwiko, ndefwa yako fika mfoti, pantu mutima walifwa kale, tetinkuyepe, nadieseshe pwe chitemwiko, lelo ndefwa yako fika mfoti, pantu mutima walifwa kale, sichaina mukwano wade, sichaina mapenzi wade, wade, sichaina mukwano wade, sichaina mapenzi wade, wade. Ebushai wale kutikama shiwinde kweba, ebali abafilo kusunge chitemwiko bantu fyengaliwe, lekankwebe, naliendele nalifika kumpikale, sendo vya finantula kode, umutima wanenuka wanakae, no matete njikale, musansa no kulira, abatumona bale kumbwa, nombata baishi befyo naishiwa, songa bwacha bebe, bibabepa bebe febeshibe, nalichinja, ine nalichinja, songa bwacha bebe, Abepa bebe tebe shibe, nadichinja, ine nadichinja, nadichinja, ine nadichinja. Shile kankutoto shemami, shile kabile chitemwiko, ndefwa yako fika mfoti, pantu mutima wadifwa kale. Tinkuwepe, nalieseshe pwe chitemwiko, lelo ndefwa yako fika mfoti, pantu mutima walifwa kale, sichaina mukwano wade, sichaina mapenzi wade, wade, sichaina mukwano wade, sichaina mapenzi wade, wade. Bali abafiro kusunge chitemwiko bantu fyangaliwe, lekankwebe nkwebe nkwebe. Bali abafiro kusunge chitemwiko bantu fyangaliwe.
King Breezy running things.
Chikarichi.
From the very first when I kuona, I knew you were the one for me. I knew you were the one I need. Singing I said baby kufuna winna.
body pretty face packaging so Finch fimbi unkwatile mukatin sto Ufingu bitetimbe papa shiso The reason in chelele la hustling for Your body talking it stundu ngufu wako Talking it stundu ngufu wako Fiak falling and spona fetch pole pole Come over boga day tui come
Hello, I love the way you move your body. Hello, I wanna come and see your daddy. Hello, I wanna put a ring on your finger too. You drive me insane, drive me insane. When I not see you, I catch a migraine. Drive me insane, scatter my brain. Nobody, all I need is your body.
Kabili la kwa mesha chifule nenga ngole fwa pene chile pule wino so tomone kuchile fule faka pule ja ufula poch fule hello nengo fulu kapa kama kuno mono gufuma kama fulo kudi biri yali jolo fya mutulo podili tempele sopo kesi sha mutulo woke up feeling kwa tuk fika mukati feeling tetuk fisa chetekelanga na kogo dikasabulanga kwi shika ta ufile na kalianda ba
Vile mutombanga mapepo mule tu pepe yako.
It's that vibe, Goliath music.
Yeah, Frank Rope on this, yeah. Show a superstar, yeah. Mule tu pepe yako. Nave mulungu atioleko mwamene mumatinene la Mosa tiba la mubea Vila mutombanga mapepo Alanga pata litwafika Vila mutombanga mula tofa Nama yanda Netware kula Mule tu pepe lako Vila mutoamba Don't you forget to pray for me Don't you forget to pray for me. From January to December, Nigalio gonna ponenjala. Olo pempa so tipali nemba. Niami kila chiudaya. Boni dali sabeda ya. Osane zonda, sonda wamena dali. Sofimba upoke mune Chigala kukalipa vyevyote Yabane otini dalege ligali kunyopopola Mapisa masawa makaleza mulungu anida Mule tupepe lako Nave mulungu atiyoneko Mwamene mumatinene la Mosa tiba la mubrea Vile mutombanga mapepo Alanga pata litwafika Vile mutombanga mula tofa Nama yanda Netware kula Mule tu pepe la kofi la mutwamba. Don't you forget to pray for me. Don't you forget to pray for me. When you do good, that ni muzungwani konde uyo. Ukabisokoneza, vaibala sabwino zonse unachita. Sipali mwana suwa tapala, mwalihola mokana wa mambara. Kicha bupele, icho cha moneka. Chapala ni meba itasesi, pepela ni koa. Pepela ni koa. Pepela ni koa. Don't you forget to pray for me.
No need for the intro.
Your mouth. This one's fire. We made it. Yeah, you really did make it. The Lion King.
Byron on the beat.
Jerry Fingers. More faster. Yapo. Chamu Komboni. The Zambian dream. Lelo, let me confess. Baby, mumana zambezi. Baby, njaba calling mwari ndisha maliso. Panto fiesta kwaba, chikondi chene chimbeka so. My goodness, ine muriwe, nalisanga mofila. Dating kabileko, nesta kuwa single. Okay, umani besta sugar. Let me confess, lima kumera sugar.
Kwanu ni kwanu. Chenzo. Osaiwara.
DJ Zengaman.
Hey, yeah. Kodiziri bwino kumangala ndekwe mnapita. Hey, hey. Kodimu mabauza makalidwa mafrika. Hey. Msamane na kachita bwino simza kwelako. Hey.
galuwa mkota sakandira pachabe nono akulu wakulu ndi mdambo motsimila modo hey roots kwanu ni kwanu amwene hey roots kwanu ni kwanu amwene.
Home is home like a swarm of bees. Young black kid never paid the fees. I had more baits than city noise. I made more prayers than baby toys. I came from the days when we had nothing. While my father gone when I got something. I shot to the top like a little bamboo. Forgetting where I'm coming from, that's a taboo. I'm stuck with the family like a tattoo. I came from the east where the sun is born. I'm deep in the culture, call me unicorn. I preach black history, that's my weapon.
Hey, yeah. Kodiziri bwino kumangala ndekwe mnapita. Hey, kodimu mabauza makalidwa mafrika. Hey, msamane na kachita bwino simzabwelako. Hey, galuwa mkota sakandira pachabe nono akulu wakulu ndi mdambo motsimila modo. Hey, roots kwanu ni kwanu amwene roots kwanu ni kwanu amwene.
Good vibes falling like a waterfall. Black kid aiming like a basketball. Built more people than concrete wall. Black when you wear this gravity. Embracing melanin, we know the insecurity. Walk strong, your beauty's forever infinity. Never forget your rules and respect the purity. Embrace the love but never face the hate. Black king, we need to have a conversation. Money, honey, women is a big temptation. Break from the deeds of this generation. Seek from the gods in every situation. Fighting for the treasures you can never possess. To making sacrifices like your modern Moses. A lot of good deeds I can never confess. Put your money in cryptocurrency, I can never guess.
Hey, yeah. Kodiziri bwino kumangala ndekwe mnapita. Hey, kodimu mabauza makalidwa mafrika. Hey, msamane na kachita bwino simzabwelako. Hey, galuwa mkota sakandira pachabe nono akulu wakulu ndi mdambo motsimila modo. Hey, roots kwanu ni kwanu amwene. Hey, roots kwanu ni kwanu amwene.
And Beats Generation Music.
Everything nice, everything good always happen to me. So many blessings they follow me, that's why they call me Balo, Balotelli, Balotelli, why always me?
General Fumbani
King Dizzo
Balotelli.
You already know, right?
Yeah, Balotelli. After hiti kuchila na stove Ipake pari play it non-stop Dima di bomba sitika mambovu Bakulu pa bakulu tuchila na njovu Pirigiti 1, 2, 3 Kima tonta chepa go munga penalty Hands up, please, chake na inopi Iba mide whenever ikuna melody Balotelli Don't call me Messi or Ronaldo Call me Balotelli Don't call me Messi or Ronaldo Call me Balotelli Call me Balotelli
Kid Soldier on the beat.
Mwana mutumbuka yusamambe Mutailo ili yote ya mange Ili yonse ya maikwela Maikwe kwa cha madelela Piti Nipase hip-hop, nipase kalindula Nipase rumba mix dizo Nibadaguse, nibashokweshe Basibe kutingine Balotelli Don't call me Messi or Ronaldo Call me Balotelli Don't call me Messi or Ronaldo Call me Balotelli
King Dizzo But you already know, right?
Call me
NJIC simwaya tilyonse nilonga nikamvela jowa nikonka muklasi baticha bachonga nilikonse ngakumufulu nsonga tipwanya marekezi plikitipli mupwanya mitima za mapepepe winga mukali komikalaba songa tilonga chitechaba I'm on a mission to carry the cross still in competition sorry your loss back in the shit I'm connecting the dots Balotelli how I'm taking the shots king let's go
Balotelli, 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 Balotelli. Don't call me Messi or Ronaldo, call me Balotelli. Balotelli, 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 Balotelli. Don't call me Messi or Ronaldo, call me Balotelli. Call me Balotelli. Everything nice, everything good, always happen to me. So many blessings they follow me, that's why they call me Balo, Balo, Balotelli, Balo, Balo, Balotelli, Balotelli, Balo, Balo, call me Balotelli. Balotelli, 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 Balotelli. Don't call me Messi or Ronaldo, call me Balotelli. Balotelli, 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 Balotelli. Don't call me Messi or Ronaldo, call me Balotelli. Call me Balotelli. ndikakuna ndimamva bwino kutula ndikalota tili tonse tisekelela tikamba nkhanu tubelewesha sembe ine ndingapemphe kwa mulungu wala kanthawi kakang'ono kuti ndikulavicheni mama mwina ndione kwa chinso ndingakondwele mtima ungankadzikike ndingakondwele mtima ungankadzikike I wish ndingakuoneni one more time komba letu lanu one more time mwani wakumanja one more time ine munandivutikira munanditsamarila munandionetsa njira chinaipa munanditsiya pachatsamba nkara bwino zinthu zamba kuyenda kabwino sembe nakondwera kuti mwenzepo mama oh ndimayewa 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 chikondi chanu oh ndimayewa 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 chikondi chanu masiku yena zengokuta tadzoka mava katowa kakudya angotulukushamba mpaka seuti kupambasira mpaka vana valye ndifuna kamba thank you njala kumunda tinaludo bankuyu muntu wodeka mtima wa chikuku dziko lino paliye muntu alinga chimwe mwandiponyera mtima mama onkumba moyo baba mugabe mulungu kumwamba ndiyadziwa zonse awishi ndingakuonani one more time kumba lidzo lanu one more time mwani wakumanja one more time ine munandivutikira munanditsamarila munandionetsa njira chinaipa munanditsiya pachatsamba nkara bwino zinthu
people. Yeah.
Blackout Media.
That boy from Chile land is here. My name is Mabondi Chundongo, my Eponapita for a chesha, chatotoma, Mudan Sotoloma, Akaka Mudan Soka Pushani Navashima, Ako, Apo, Ayo, Ayo, Tata Natasha, Monenya Mapano Mwantela, Tetiva Mpoke, Ayo, Tata Natasha, Monenya Mapano Mwantela, Tetiva Mpoke, Ayo. For the 4G music.
Deep Tronic, 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 Tronic.
MP on the beat, ya Dano.
As a Zambian proceeding, yeah. I want you to know you're the queen of my heart. Sivanga fikeko hawa benango. Nanguba kishishani baby daddy. Mutima ona sanka kalewe oh. It's your smile for me. Mutima nanselu. The way that you carry yourself. You are baby. There is something about you baby. My love, only you my love. There is something about you baby. My love, only you my love. Baby wali pusana ko. My love, only you my love. Baby wali pusana ko. My love, only softly. What are you feeling inside? Hold me, baby, can you hold me? I need you right by my side. I wanna know, baby, where did you come from, my baby? I wanna know, baby, are you an angel sent from above? It's your smile for me, mutima na selu. The way that you carry yourself, sure, baby. There is something about you, baby. My love, only you, my love. There is something about you, baby. My love, only you, my love. Baby, what you put sana go? My love, only you, my love. Baby, what you put sana go? My love, only you, my love. Yele, 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 yele. Yele, yele, yele. Yele, 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 yele. Yele, yele, yele. Oh no no no, why no no baby. There is something about you, baby. Only you, my love. There is something about you, baby. Only you, my love. Baby, what you put sana go? Only you, my love. Baby, what you put sana go? Only you, my love. Yele, 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 yele. Yele, yele, yele. Yele, 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 yele. Yele, yele, yele.
Germany, sitaki kuomba na murara. Ni sitaki kupangenda ramani. Kama address. Chilishani. Chentu bombe kutupangi kwenda ramani.
Kale we munande niwe wamwene mu future mulinebo